Hello YouTube, I'm Johan Rodrik and I have done a few art videos and you might be familiar with my art, and today I have a quite special video with a different purpose, and I hope you find it helpful as I study people and what makes us tick, and myself including, that uh, that is how to set goals and how to achieve something. And I every week I meet up with friends, and we have a nice discussion with a few teas and snacks, and we sit down and have a brainstorm about fixing and solving problems and improving our lives. And I'm very glad that I can be part of it. Well, I'm quite allergic to negative emotions and things like that, so I use the same methods in my art, and I want to do colorful and happy things that improve the quality of life in this storm of bad news and whatever coming in. So, but okay. Here's what I would like to share with you. Once I had, quite a long time ago now, a friend of mine turned to me with a problem. That the problem was that he was about 40 kilograms overweight. And then we sat down and started to think how to solve the problem. And I figured that at first what we should do is to set a proper goal to fix the problem. And how to set the goal is actually quite easy, but not everyone does it. At first you need a little bit willpower to find that you have a problem and you want to solve it. And setting a goal, that we did, that we took the problem in its full extent, and we decided to stretch it out on a time frame that is important for goal setting. And then we divided it into bite-sized chunks. For example, as exemplified by that, we divided it, this 40 kilogram weight problem over a 10-month period with a goal to every month to lose 4 kilograms. That would total up in 10 months, and every month we had a measurement on it to check the progress and to discuss how to fix or improve in case the schedule wasn't met. Most of the time the schedule was met, so we didn't have much problems with it, and there was no fallbacks. But a second thing that we did, goal setting was the base of the weight loss project I devised, and it also contained more important part. Well, goal setting is actually quite fundamental in it, but it's only one component. But the second component was self-image, how you see yourself. Well, that how you think about yourself, that your subconscious will get you everywhere where you think about yourself. If you think about yourself that you're big boned, you're heavyweight, you're fat, you're corpulent, you're plump, whatever, your subconscious will get you there, whatever means necessary. But if you break that self-image, the self-image that's also your identity, that means that who you believe you are. And if you believe you're fat or big boned or heavy or corpulent or whatever, your subconscious will always get you back into that settling point. So you have to break your fat identity and substitute it with a slim and a fit and a powerful and some identity like that. And your subconscious will start to work on it. If you manifest yourself that you are slim, you're fit, and your subconscious will start to progress that and will take action and guide you into that form. Well, coupled down with a nicely set goal and your identity, which is fixed, then the progress went on much better. And we are almost at the finish. It's 30 kilograms down already. And you can do the math and find out how long we have done that. And well, if you set your goal, you must make, even if it looks quite frightening and big goal, you can take it down into some smaller bite-sized chunks that actually are quite achievable. And your goal setting, smaller pieces of your goal must be also achievable and realistic. Well, you can't take a goal like that. That would be like losing 10 kilograms a day, which is clearly unrealistic. Well, I don't know. I don't even want to know how you can achieve that. But this is unrealistic, and you can't do it too quickly. You must follow achievable time frames that also make some proper adjustments in your habits. And if your identity is fit, then you can't have anything conflicting. You can't overeat, for instance. That comes automatically. You don't need too much willpower to watch your diet or something like that. Well, I'm not any diet expert or anything like that, but well, if you have your identity fixed as a fit person, as a strong person, as a slim person, that you absolutely, with no doubt whatsoever, believe that, manifest that every day with all your activities, you will achieve that eventually. And if you believe that that's how you are, you don't need too much willpower. Willpower is an important ingredient, but it's not everything. You can't do it purely on willpower. But willpower is important for getting it started. If you have your identity fixed on being slim, being sporty, being active, being as you want to be, well, your subconscious is not making any difference. Are you manifesting it, or are you that way? If you manifest that you're fit, you're slim, you will achieve that. Yeah. And you have a goal, you have your identity fixed. Now there are a few more ingredients that you will also need, and one thing is you need a mentor, somebody who is honest enough to tell you the truth, however ugly that truth is. You need somebody like that, a friend like that. Friends like that are quite rare to find. I find that honesty doesn't bring you many friends, but honesty will bring you the friends who really count. And I always tell the truth, however ugly or painful that is. And I see that it takes a nice long-term effect. Well, it's compliments are also good, and I do compliments, and I am very hearty in my approbation and lavish in my praise. But if you really want to make progress, well, you can always change. Change is automatic. You don't have to work on change, but progress is not, and this one takes you constant work, and you have to constantly work on your thoughts. You have to lead your thoughts to be in sync with your goal, and with your short-term and your long-term goals. And when you're guiding your thoughts, you do not think about negative things too long. If you have, for instance, a problem or something, you shouldn't dwell about the problem from every angle possible you find, and from this way and that way, and the problem is here and that, and well, you may start doing circles and circles and circles and circles around the problem and focusing on the problem. But you don't need to focus on the problem, you need to focus on the solution. And if you focus on the solution, then you're making progress. Should be like Tony Robbins actually taught me about a formula that I'm applying in my own life, is that you focus 5% on the problem and 95% you focus on the solution. And I also need to work on that, but it always helps out. And also there is more ingredients you need. You have your identity, you have your goal set. Well, about goal setting, how to set the proper goals, there are many textbooks on the bookshelves and in bookstores, and there are also many videos on YouTube. So if you type in goal setting, you'll most likely get something. And if you are setting a proper goal, then your goal is your must. That is something that you absolutely must do. And it is not a wish. Some people are mistaking their goals and their wishes, and that's how the New Year's resolutions are not followed through. Because that what people do is they actually take their wish list, and they may follow through for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or something like that, but purely on willpower you won't last. You have to put the goal, you have to set the goal, and then you have to have your identity attached to it. Then you will follow through, because your identity, the belief who you are, who you define yourself as, this is how you follow through, and this will last a lifetime. And if you set yourself a proper goal, and you make up your identity as a person who you are, as a fit and slim and strong and vibrant and healthy, and you name it, as you define it as your identity. This will last you a lifetime, and your overweight will never come back. Well, there are countless of stories of people who take diets and try to work on change and whatever, but they probably don't succeed much because they don't have their identity attached to it. And if your identity is attached to your goal, then you will succeed. And there actually are a few more ingredients. Also, the group you're in. If you're in a group of overweight people, or all your friends are overweight, then you need to leave the group. Because if you are surrounded with overweight people with bad habits, and you subconsciously you will start to copy them, and this will inhibit your progress. I always take a formula that if I am the smartest person in the group, then for me it's time to change the group. That's how I grow. If I'm the smartest one in the group, then I'm no longer learning anything new. I don't grow any longer. So it's time to change the group. I absolutely love being the dumbest person in the group. Then I feel that I have a lot to learn, and that I do. And also, there's very helpful is to be grateful, and be grateful for whatever opportunities to learn you have. Then you will learn much more efficiently. For instance, if you open up a textbook of, for example, goal setting, then before you open up the textbook, you first take a moment to be grateful for the textbook and grateful for the opportunity to learn from this excellent book. And then you open up the book, and you will get much more, and you learn much faster and much better. Well, if you take the textbook and figure that it's supposed to help me, let's read that mumbo jumbo a little bit, then you learn nothing, or very little. That your learning attitude is very, very important in the mix. And well, when you start working on yourself, then you want to achieve something, your ideal weight, then you must have a compelling reason for it. That's the third essential ingredient. There are three essential ingredients. That one is your identity. Have your identity fixed as a slim and fit person. Then have a proper goal setting, and then have a compelling reason. That reason must be something that doesn't let you to sleep well because you just can't wait to start working on it. That must be that kind of a reason that can't wear out. That is a standing reason that keeps you going. That also has your identity attached to it. And if you have a reason that you want to put on your favorite suit or dress or something like that. That's not reason enough. Well, if your suit or dress wears out, what happens then? Your reason is gone. Are you gonna fall back? Well, you can't have a temporary reason. You must have a reason for a lifetime. That helps out when you link pain and something to avoid to your obesity problem, and you don't try to lie yourself that you're comfortable in it, that you're big boned or something like that. Throw these kind of stories out of your head. These don't help you. These will always get you back into the point you don't want. And about exercising, well, I'm not a coach, but for starting, if you're not moving much, if you're overweight, then probably you're not moving much, and you for a start you have to start before you're ready. Start with a little bit movement, and then have a little bit movement more, and always improve on based on your last day's movement. Tomorrow move a little more, and the next day move a little more, and then move a little more. And if you're going like that, by improving your movement every day, then you will improve eventually quite a lot. Well, if you try to feel good on something like that you find somebody who is in worse shape than you to feel good on it, that's a pitfall. Avoid that. Always measure how improve your personal best. Always improve your personal best. I always try to do that, and I always develop on that. Actually, Michael Jordan also did that. He didn't compete with anyone, but he was competing with his own capability. And if you put all these things together and find here's a lot of other helping textbooks and videos available, so you can find here. Well, Tony Robbins has a lot of material on YouTube here about the subject and how to build a proper identity and how to set goals and all of that, how to have your identity fixed properly and things like that. And I will also post some new subjects, and I will add some extra information on it. So if you find this information helpful, then let me know about it, and if you want to refresh it, come back to this video and check it again, and if you, well, here's one thing that I do is I always listen and read the books again and again and again, because I tend to forget a thing or two, and I need to remind them, and I find that very helpful.